Okay, so how do you, after all, calculate the doses of insulin? How do you know how much insulin to give or to receive or to get? So, the first thing you always want to do is know what your blood sugar is. You always want to know what the child's blood sugar is, because that's going to dictate the first part of this equation, which is, if my blood sugar is high, for example, I want to bring it down. If it's not high enough, then, what do I do? So you always want to check the blood sugar. And if your blood sugar is less than, in this case, there's a blank there because we want you to think about it. So if your blood sugar is less than 80, for example, then you may want to treat it for low to begin with. Or if your blood sugar is less than 130 for a child between 6 and basically adolescent 17, for an individual between 6 and 17, you can skip to step 3. If a child under 5 or under, blood sugar is less than 150, then they can skip to 3. So let's say your blood sugar is 200, okay? So then you wouldn't skip it, and essentially you would need to bring your blood sugar down. So you're going to give insulin to bring your blood sugar down to more of an in range, say a target of 130. And then that's step 2 is the correction factor, is what we call it. We're correcting the high blood sugar with insulin, okay? And then step 3 is where you use those carbs you've calculated and figure out how much insulin you're going to need to reduce your to cover those carbs with insulin. Okay, so we will practice this, but in essence, there are 2 components of when you get insulin. One is to take care of the blood sugar that may be high. If your blood sugar is already sort of in range and you don't need to correct it, great. Then you just give yourself insulin or give the child insulin to cover the carbs they're about to eat. If the blood sugar is high and above range, let's say 200, 220, whatever it may be, 150, 180, then they need to bring that blood sugar down to range and cover the carbohydrates that they're about to eat. So we'll figure out an equation for both of these things. And so we will give you these ratios. It says carb ratio and correction factor. This is something that your doctor or healthcare team will prescribe to you. Okay, it is there is some scientific methodology to it, but it's not always a sort of a precise science. There's a bit of art that goes into it, and talk to us if you're interested in knowing how we come up with these numbers. But these ratios will be prescribed to you, and same with the long-acting dose. You will be told exactly how many units need to be given and at what time. Okay.